What up, YouTube? What we got right here? We got the week 2 divisional round of the playoffs. Today, what we got? First game up, Houston Texans travel to Baltimore to face the Baltimore Ravens. Look, man, the Houston Texans are a team that has been the surprise of the NFL. CJ Stroud looking like, he's going to be that next crop of quarterbacks that we're gonna be watching, we're gonna be looking out for, we're gonna be seeing, watch him move up the ranks in terms of record books, everything else. He looking like the real deal. Going into Baltimore to face who will likely be the NFL MVP for the second time in his career, Lamar Jackson. I expect a win by the Ravens. I mean, Texans are going to make it tough, man. They got that defense. They probably have what may be the best defensive mind at defensive coordinator right now when we're talking about DeMeco Ryans. You look at what he did for the 49ers last year and the year before. And look at how quickly the Texans turned around, man. DeMeco Ryans is a guy that came through the Eagles organization. The Eagles recognized how smart he was. He was our middle linebacker for a few years after he got traded from the Texans. The Texans were smart enough to recognize that the guy was a gem, and they brought him back and rewarded him to coach the team. I wish the Eagles would do stuff like that. Bring back guys that came through the organization and showed you something and make them defensive coordinators, a la Seth Joyner, for example, the best linebacker we've ever had. Now, we're not going to make this about the Eagles, but I'm just saying. This here are situations that the Eagles can learn from, man. Stop running away from your roots. Stop running away from your own history. Embrace it, man. Why is Al Harris, who is a slot corner for the Eagles, why is he defensive backs coach for the Cowboys? What are you doing? I don't understand stuff like that. But anyway, man, I take Baltimore in that game. I don't know the line. But, I mean, if Baltimore lose this game, you know how bad that'll look on Lamar? Lamar will be the NFL's Joel Embiid, dynamic in the regular season. Hard to stop, a winner. Then go to the postseason and lay flops. If you lose to a top team, lose to a team that's picked to win it all, Chiefs, Bills, one could understand. To go out there and lose to the Texans at home, you can't do it. So I'm going with Baltimore to win, possibly by double digits, man. They should be able to slow down the Texans' offense. You would think. I mean, if you look at what they did to Miami, you look at what they did to the 49ers, right? And then our second game, 8:15 game tonight, the showdown. Green Bay Packers versus San Francisco 49ers. You're talking about two franchises that go back a long time. Now, their greatest rivalry we're talking about was in the late 90s, okay? Where you had, there was a three-way rivalry in the NFC back then between the Dallas Cowboys, the Green Bay Packers, and the San Francisco 49ers. The Dallas Cowboys typically used to be in both of these guys' ways when they had Jimmy Johnson. After Jimmy Johnson had left, always got to give y'all a little bit of history. What had happened was Brett Favre finally had broken through. And the 49ers had that one magical year in 1994 when they picked up Deion Sanders, and they had like one of the most perfect teams I've ever seen. And broke through, won in 94. Dallas was able to come back and win in 95. That was the year where the Packers were almost there, but Brett Favre just wasn't quite ready yet. It was in 96 where Green Bay really took over the NFC conference and went to 2 Super Bowls, won one. But today, what do we got, man? Packers versus the 49ers at not Candlestick. They changed the name of it, but it's in San Francisco. I like the Packers in this game simply because I can't stand the San Francisco 49ers. You're talking about a classless organization with classless players. You're talking about classless, just classless all around. When they win, You know, they want to shake your hand and act like and give you props and all of that stuff. When they go out there and lose, you know, they want to start trying to fight at the end of the game. They want to talk all types of trash. Nick Bosa want to act like, you know, they done exposed something that nobody else has seen. Christian McCaffrey just can't accept what the hell's going on. The only guy that might have a little bit of class there is Brock Purdy and possibly Fred Warner. I do respect Fred Warner. Hard worker. He is the backbone of that defense. Though they boast a decent defensive line. Travarius Ward, good corner, good solid corner. But the Green Bay Packers, this is what's going to happen here in this game. I believe the Packers have a chance mainly because their biggest advantage is at the quarterback position. Jordan Love is better than Brock Purdy, right? For those who don't know that, you don't understand football. You don't understand the quarterback position. You don't understand the degree of difficulty that both guys face and what happens. Brock Purdy will never be the talent that a Jordan Love is. You know, we talk about size, we talk about precision passing, when we talk about like the way he can zip it in there with power. We talking about the sidearm passes that you guys love. Jordan Love, he is that guy, he is that dude. Now, what the Packers have to hope is that they can find a way to move the ball on the 49ers. I think it'll be a little bit more difficult because the 49ers defensive staff, you would think, would be a little bit more prepared to deal with the offense of the Packers, right? You're talking about two coaches that know each other, Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan. Right, you're talking about two coaches that know each other. They run similar systems. They have similar mindset when it comes to the type of offense they run. But me personally, I'm more impressed with what Matt LaFleur has done simply because he doesn't have the so-called talent of an Ayuk. He doesn't have the so-called talent of a Deebo Samuels. He definitely doesn't have like a Christian McCaffrey. Though Aaron Jones is no slouch. The Packers are doing it, man. You're talking about mostly young guys. None of these guys have like 100 catches or anything like that. Same thing with Packers, 49ers. The 49ers mostly have, you know, that running back, Christian McCaffrey. Now, it all depends. If the Packers defense can play the way they played last week against Dallas, who, of course, is more predictable and so on. They have McCarthy, who runs a West Coast offense, but it's more old school style West Coast offense with not enough wrinkles. They probably will do a better job than Dallas defense did. Dan Quinn just wasn't prepared for anything at all that Green Bay was doing. And Green Bay was completely prepared for everything Dallas was doing. But if Green Bay is smart enough to know how to deal with Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy is a guy that if you're prepared, he's very stoppable. He's not dynamic enough to do anything once you have all his shit figured out, okay? Most quarterbacks, once you got their shit figured out, they're done, right? And we're going to see. We're going to see how good the Packers' defensive brass is. I think their secondary is more than good enough for the task of dealing with the 49ers. But I will mention the last few times, this is the only thing, the last few times the Packers have faced the 49ers, it didn't look good for them. Kyle Shanahan, definitely, I got to give him that. He did dominate them the last couple of times when Aaron Rodgers went and dealt with the 49ers. So, you know, if it's a repeat of the same type of thing where they're not as prepared, that's going to be a problem. Though I believe one of those instances was with McCarthy and not with LaFleur. But one of them might have been with LaFleur. I'm not sure. And then next we got tomorrow's games at 3 o'clock. You got the Lions and the Bucks. I expect the Lions to win that. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I don't care that they beat the Eagles. The Buccaneers are trash. The Philadelphia Eagles were trashier. That's why they lost. Todd Bowles does is blitz. I think the Lions will be much more prepared for the blitz than the Eagles were. The Eagles' offense is just retarded. Really, from the standpoint of the coaching staff, they're dumb. I've never seen anything like it. And the Lions defense were going to play much better than the Eagles defense. Just can't make tackles and all that kind of stuff. So I expect the Lions to go ahead and get the Bucs out of here. A team that's just they're hanging around just a week too long. Okay, last but not least, we got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. It looks like it's in Buffalo tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Listen, by all accounts, Buffalo Bills should win this game. I really believe that. They faced each other earlier in the season. Buffalo was able to win that. If you look at everything besides, I was going to say everything besides Patrick Mahomes, Buffalo is in favor of. Not necessarily. The Chiefs' defense is serious. You know, you look at what the Chiefs' defense had done to the Miami Dolphins twice. They're serious. You know, Buffalo is no stranger to beating Miami as well. They beat them, so they're not really the measuring stick. I think this is the year that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have to show that they're serious top 5 quarterbacks. You know, they go out there, they don't have an impressive run, and you keep getting stopped by Patrick Mahomes all the time, especially Patrick Mahomes is the weakest he's ever going to be in terms of like the help around him. That's not going to look good. So, Bills better win this game. They really should. But I don't know. It's hard to pick them. That damn Patrick Mahomes and then Andy Reid, he just has a way of having these guys ready, you know, prepared for these situations. It's hard to pick against them. It's like this. I think the Bills should win, but I think the Chiefs probably will. That's just the way I'm seeing it, man. I don't have a score idea, but that's probably what's going to happen, man. So those are my picks. We got Ravens, Packers, Lions, Chiefs. Peace.